All right, we live. We got 10 on. What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? We're gonna wait a little bit so there's a few more people in the room. I'll say once we get to 50 people, we'll start doing this video. So today we're gonna be talking about barber money. How much do barbers make? Is barbering a career? It's going to be they put a ad on the live. Wow. It's going to be unbiased. I'm not trying to convince anybody to be a barber, but at the same time, I'm trying to inform everybody, some with transparency, um, what the barber career can offer. Like for a lot of people, this is their last chance. I'm not naive to that. For some people, this might not be the career for them. They might be better off doing something else. And so I want to give the information out there, but I also want to be conservative about it. I want to I'm not going to exaggerate numbers. I'm going to give it to you in plain language, and I'm going to give it to you in stages and doses, right? So like when you start off, middle of the road, to what you can become and the opportunities that are in there for you. And this isn't just for people who are starting off or think about making a career. This is also for barbers who've been doing it for a while and haven't figured out how to make it a career, or haven't figured out how they're going to retire, how they can get insurance, how they should pay their taxes and withhold, how they can put together a retirement fund and really make this a respectable career. And that's my mission, man. You guys know how it is. Like, I've been trying to make sure when people hear the word barber, I don't want people to look at me and be like, oh, you just a barber? Nah, like, that's whack to me. I've made a great career out of this. I'm 29 years old, made a great career out of this, and all I want to do is share the love and give back. So Zoe, what's going on, bro? Calling you out, man. I haven't heard from you in a while, bro. How you been? So we got 158 people on here. Hey, we about to spit some bars then. I'm hyped. So, yo, what's going on? For me as an immigrant, I can't get none of the health insurance, 401k, nothing. I'm not even gonna say nothing. I ain't even gonna say nothing. We can talk privately. But listen, guys, listen. So let's go ahead and get started right off the bat. Let's talk about barbering as a career. So the thing that motivated me recently was a post that I saw, and it was by the Bureau of Labor. And they talked about how the top 10% of barbers make $47,000 or more. Everybody else makes less. And when I heard that, I'm like, what? If that's the truth, it's one thing to complain about it. It's one thing to bring it up, and it's another to try to do something about it. And that's my goal now. That's my goal now. I want to do something about that. There's no reason why a barber shouldn't be making more than $47,000 a year. And I don't care if it's the average. I feel like if you're not making $47,000 by year 2, you're doing something wrong. Okay, so let's talk about let's put that into context, right? So look, there's 3 ways that a barber usually gets paid in this industry. There's also hybrid versions, but you have hourly, you have commission, and you have rent. And there's hybrid versions, right? There's commissions where you get a cap. There's hourlies where if you cut a certain amount of people, you get bonuses, you get commissions. Either way, you can make a really good living as a barber. No matter how you get paid, you can do it. And let's break this down. Let's go to the most popular, which is booth rent. Okay. And we'll even talk about commission a little bit in hourly as well. But I wanted to give you guys some very simple ideas of making money in this industry. Now, what I tell people starting off is go with commission, because with commission, the owner of the shop, he has incentives to help you grow, right? So like a barbershop owner, if you're not successful, he don't make money when you're starting off and you have no clientele, right? With booth rent, I don't care if you got 10 clients or you got 100 clients or 1,000 clients, right? Give me my booth rent. There's no incentive for most barbershop owners with that business model to make you successful unless they care about you. And I'll be real with you, that's hard to find. So with that being said, let's break down blueprint. Let's say you're starting off, you just got out of barber school, and you did a good job looking for the barbershop that you want to work at, right? And you found a barbershop that has a decent clientele. And when I say decent, I'm talking about you're doing 3 or 4 haircuts a day during the week, and on the weekends you're doing like 7 or 6, right? Very doable. That like that's pretty normal, right? Like you should be able to do that. So let's do the math on that, right? When I was most of our barbers, so like we have over 70 barbers, right? Let's say you charge $20 for a haircut. A lot of people do $20, $20 haircuts, right? With tip, most people are going to give you $23, $25 for the cut, for a haircut, right? Let's say you do haircut and beard. For me, like most of my clients have beard and haircut. Most of my clients are haircut and beard, right? So let's say you charge 25, 26 for haircut and beard. And with tip, you're looking at like $30, 30 something dollars, right? So I think that conservatively, we can say that on average, you're making $28 a cut. This is with haircut, this is with haircut and beard. And we haven't even brought up haircut and beard, haircut and hot towel shave, haircut and color enhancement. You should be making more than $28 on average, but let's be conservative about this, right? And anybody, and I don't care where you live, you can charge $20 for a cut. But let's say with tip and extra services, it's $28 a cut, right? Anyone can do this. I'm not talking about the guys who are charging $40, $50, $60, $100 for a haircut. I'm talking about your regular Joe Schmo. You can make on average $28 a cut. We haven't even brought up selling product, okay? Very conservative numbers, okay? Let's say that you're starting off and you're doing 3 haircuts during the week and like 6 or 7 during the weekends, and you average 5 haircuts a day, and you only work 5 days a week. Listen, guys, when I started off, I was working 7 days a week. Don't worry, Lewis, we got IRS stuff. So when I started off, I'm like, yo, I got to build my clientele as quickly as possible. I'm working 7 days a week. But let's say you're Joe Schmo. What do you mean $28 a cut is bugging? Bro, $20 for a regular haircut. You don't tip, you're bugging. $25 for haircut and beard. With tip, $30. What about hot towel shaves? What about color enhancements? What about these extra things? I'm talking about average. I'm not talking about $20 a cut. Anyways, so let's say you're doing on average five cuts a day. You're starting off. That's 25 haircuts a week. 25 times 28 is 30 times 25 times 28, right? That's that. And let's say you're working 50 weeks out of the year. So you're taking a 2-week vacation. Guys, that's $35,000 a year, your first year. And that's being conservative. $35,000 a year, your first year. And that's being conservative. And I don't care where you live. If you're charging less than $20, I don't care where you live. Go to another shop. Go to another shop. I can guarantee you anyone can charge to $20. Okay. And we're in Tampa. Okay. If you're in California, if you're in New York City, if you're in Texas where the economy is amazing, make sure you're charging at least $20. Okay. So your first year, we're talking $35K conservatively. I would hope that you start to build your clientele. $35K is right at the poverty line, statistically speaking, bro. Okay, let's talk about statistics. This man just said $35K is the poverty line. Do you realize people go 4 years to college to be a teacher to make $30 a year? So hold on. Let's see. Because listen, I've been poor. And I'm telling you right now, if I made $35,000, they taking my food stamps away. They taking my WIC away. I can't move into a apartment that's income restricted. Come on, 35K is the poverty line. In what world, dude? If I made 35K, they'd take all my stuff away. Okay. So, anyways, 35K, that's what people are going to school for 4 years to make. This is entry level. This is after 10 months of school, and this is your first year as a barber. 35K. Okay. and we're not talking household income. We're talking about as an individual. And this is your first year. Okay. So let's say you build your clientele. Let's say you build your clientele and you kill it. And you're starting to kill it. And like 2 years in, now you've got a full clientele. You're doing about 2 haircuts an hour. You're working 8 to 10 hours a day, and you're doing 16 haircuts a day. You're doing 16 haircuts a day, which is more than possible. Okay. You start off 35K. This is starting off, right? You build your clientele. 2 years later, you're doing about 2 haircuts an hour, 8 to 10 hours a day. That's 16 haircuts a day. Okay. On Fridays and Saturdays, you might be making 20. You might be making 20 on Fridays and Saturdays, right? So if you're only charging $28 a haircut, you're doing 16 haircuts a day, and you take a 2-week vacation for the year, that's $112,000 a year. That's $112,000 a year. Which means if you're only doing 8 haircuts a day, that's $58,000 a year. But let's say you're killing it and you do 16 a day, and I'm sure there's people in this chat room that do 16 a day. That's $112,000 a year cash. And $35,000 in Florida is not trash because I live in Florida. Real estate is cheap. $35,000 goes a long way in Florida, right? No, it doesn't depend on the state that you live in. If you live in San Francisco, there's no way you're charging $20. If you're charging $20, you need to move to another shop. Listen, you're talking to somebody who has worked literally, who I've been to every major city, almost every city in the United States, more than once, more than twice, right? I've been so like I feel like I'm very informed on what's going on in the barber industry in every city. So it's not like I'm sitting here talking like from the outside looking in, right? I've been and I talk to people and I understand what people are charging. San Francisco barbers charging $30, $35, $40 easy, right? What's up, puppy? Good night, Papa. I love you. So, yes, Mama. Okay. So, all right. So, anyways, guys, that's $112,000 a year in Tampa right now. Come here, Mama. I'm sorry, I'm being interrupted by my babies. I love you, baby. Say good night.
Good night.
Okay. All right. Go to bed. I love you. Okay. Go to bed. Santa's watching. Santa Claus is watching. Go to bed. All right. So now let's say, okay, so we talked about beginner. We just talked about you just got a barber school. We were conservative. You made $35,000 your first year. And then you've been in 2 years. You're crushing it. You built your clientele. Now you're $112,000 a year. Right? Then you get to a higher level, right? So like there's 3 ways you make money in this industry. There's clientele, but you can only cut so many heads a week. There's how much you charge for a haircut, right? So once you're booked, you raise your haircut price. Okay. I make on average $40 a haircut right now. So I'm booked. So look at these numbers, right? I'm not doing 16 a day. When at my peak, I was doing 20 haircuts a day. On an average of $40 a cut, do the math, guys. You can make a lot of money in this industry. Now, I've been in this industry much longer than 2 years. But what I'm saying is you can continue to grow in this industry. And we're just talking behind the chair. Okay. And we're just talking behind the chair. Now, guys, we're talking about working 5 days a week, right? What happens if you work 6 days a week? It's your first year. And instead of working 5 days, you work 6 days. When I first started, I worked 7 so I could build my clientele. Now that first year, you didn't make $35,000. You made $45,000. You made $55,000, right? Then you're in your second year, and instead of working 5 days a week and doing $112,000 a year, you work 6 or 7 days a week, and you grind because you single. You ain't got no problems. Like grind or forget that you're single. You got kids, and you want to make sure by the time they can remember anything, they're 2 years old, they're 1 year old. You want to make sure by the time they can remember anything that they're set for life. So you grind. You're making 112,000 a year right now, 5 days a week, and you decide you're gonna work 7. What those numbers look like, guys? Do the freaking math. Do the math, right? But most barbers at 35,000, they're good. You got people in here complaining 35,000 ain't nothing. So work 6 days your first year. So work 7 days your first year. Make 50 something thousand. Make 60,000. And then your second year, you're making double that because your clientele was built. Don't talk about that ain't enough money. Work more. That's the thing in this industry. You can continue. What you put in is what you get out. You can continue to work and make more money. Okay. So let's say let's say you've reached where I'm at, and you're doing your 20 haircuts a day. You're charging $40 a cut. I'm not gonna do the math for you. You could do the math, right? You're gonna tell me you can't make a career out of this? Okay. So some people have already asked. They asked about taxes. They asked about benefits, and they asked about insurance. So let's talk about that. All right, let's talk about that. So I own a business. I own several companies, right? So I'm not a tax professional. You should definitely hire an accountant. Don't go by what Don't go by what I'm saying. Verify it with your accountant. I'm not a professional. I have to say that disclaimer, right? But this is what I'm going to tell you from experience. I'm a business owner. I own 7 barbershops. I own a product line that's distributed all over the country, all over the world. And I'm like, it's because of you guys. I'm super fortunate. I'm blessed, and I thank you guys. In the most humble way I can say it, right? And I've also been very successful behind the chair, and I've also bought real estate in the past. I've also owned rental property. I've also sold property. I've also bought and sold stocks, right? So I feel like I'm pretty informed, and I'm gonna talk to you guys about you're starting out, you made this money, you didn't do so well, or you start to do okay, and you built your clientele. How do you really make this a career? Because if it's only cash, if you're not paying taxes, if you don't know about healthcare, if you don't have a retirement set up, then it's not a career. It's just a hustle. It's not if it's just cash, you're not making it a career. That's why I don't understand why people are still just doing cash business. But it's 2018, guys. It's freaking 2018. All your swipes, Square gives you a 1099 for, right? Your bank accounts give you statements. You have accountants. You have CPAs. Okay, y'all got to get it together. Okay, so if you don't report and you write everything off, you can't buy a house. You can't get a business loan. You can never get to that other side. And I'm gonna tell you this. Look, I'm gonna tell you this. And I'm gonna answer questions after I go through my whole spiel. Okay. I'm gonna tell you this. If you want to be wealthy in this lifetime, okay. Hold on. He said, Chris, 35K isn't trash, but I own property and change. Bro, it's not trash to start out, Mike Hensley. Open your mind, bro. But what you can make happen with it. Okay. So, anyways, listen. So listen to what I'm saying. So, in order to go from just being a barber to actually building something bigger than yourself, look, I'm a minority. I was first generation born in this country. My dad's an immigrant. My mother came from Puerto Rico, and they came not knowing English, started from the bottom, right? And one thing I realize is my parents are much older now, and they're not gonna leave nothing behind, man. I feel responsible to change my family tree forever. And we can do it, guys. Too many times, people, I don't care if you're black, white, Hispanic, I don't care what you are. You have to make a choice today on a daily basis to make the right choices that will live on even after you're gone. Die legend, exactly. Even after you're gone. And you know what lives on? Generational wealth. And it's got to start with someone that makes a decision. not today, not tomorrow, on a daily basis forever, to build something that's going to change your kids' lives, your kids' lives, your kids' lives, right? I don't even know my grandfather or his name on either side, my mother or my father, let alone my great grandfather. They just didn't leave a legacy like that, right? So what I'm telling you is, guys, if you don't report taxes, if you're a cash business, you ain't doing nothing, bro. Like, you cannot buy real estate, you cannot get business loans, you cannot leverage money to build something bigger than yourself. Okay. Now you start reporting taxes, you can start owning rental property. You can stop trading time for money. And that's the problem with barbers. You trade time for money your entire life, and then you hope to retire off of Social Security, right? So what I'm telling you is, you have to pay taxes. You got to file taxes. But don't just do that. Like, have some money set aside and start investing it. Stop putting it in your mattress. Buy real estate, right? Build equity. Have some passive income. Make money while you're sleeping. Like, so you guys get what I'm saying. Okay, so let me tell you guys how you do this. So at a regular 9 to 5, what people call a real career, since barbering is not a real career, what people call a real career, since I'm a business owner, I can tell you, okay, you have a budget. You have a budget for employees, your salary budget. Okay. In that budget, if you provide healthcare for your employees, you can take it out of that budget, and what's left is what you have to pay your employees, if that makes sense, right? Then there's other employers who will have their budget, pay their employees, and then take out whatever healthcare they're providing their employees. They'll take it out because even though it's subsidized, the employees still got to pay for whatever the medical benefits are. They're still paying for it, whether you see it come out your check or it's on the next level and it's taking out the company budget. You're still paying for it as an employee, whether you see it or not. Okay. So the only difference between a barber and your regular 9 to 5 employee is that your employer is taking it out of your paycheck first, and the barber needs to pay it first. They need to pay it themselves. You understand what I'm saying? So get you an insurance agent. Get you an insurance agent. They'll be able to tell you what you're paying in medical benefits. And there's different levels, right? You might be able to get Obamacare and pay nothing. You might have to pay the maximum, which is like $250 a month, or you might not like what Obamacare offers, and you might go with something private and pay $500 a month. But I'm going to tell you this. I just showed you how you can make $112,000 a year, okay, with 16 haircuts, charging an average haircut, okay, an average haircut price, a haircut price that anyone can charge, okay. So if you're charging, if you're paying $500 a month for your insurance, that's $6,000. You're telling me if you make 112 grand, you can't pay $6,000 in insurance? You can't do that? It's not that benefit that healthcare isn't available to barbers. It's that barbers don't pay it. They get their money first and then they spend it. Whereas an employee, you get your money after your taxes are paid, after you paid your benefits, after you put money into your retirement fund, then you get your money. The problem is barbers, not just barbers, but people in general, don't have the discipline to do it for themselves. Okay. So what I'm telling you is, let's say you're making 50 grand a year. You're going to tell me you can't put $250 a month to the side, and out of that $50,000, you can't pay $3 grand for health insurance? Guys, the reason why is because by human nature, you will not pay that insurance first. You'll take your money, you'll buy Jordans, you'll take your money, you'll go to the bar, you'll take your money, and you'll buy a nice car first. Understand what I'm saying? It's discipline. So now don't leave, guys. Don't get out this live stream because I'm going to tell you guys the problem, and everyone can tell you the problem, and anyone can motivate you and inspire you. But I'm also going to give you the solution by the end of this live stream. Okay. Now, we talked about health insurance. Boom. Get you a insurance agent and see what he can do for you. I'm telling you, they can bless you. They can hook it up. The problem is you don't even try because you think it's not available to you. Get you an insurance agent. Okay. Now, the next question most people have is, what about taxes? So look, when you get your paycheck, you'll see employment tax taken out. That's Social Security, that's Medicaid, right? That's Social Security and that's Medicaid. But that's also federal taxes. It gets all taken out of your paychecks. As a barber, nothing gets taken out of your money, right? You have to pay for it. So like most people will be in the 30% range as far as taxes, federal and employment tax. You have to take that money out of your bank account every week. Every week that you get paid, you need to take 30% out. That's taxes. And people are like, damn, it's 30%. It's 30%. Like that's the average tax. Average person gets taxed 30%. And if you're self-employed, you have to take that money out yourself. And damn, does that hurt. Oh, that hurts. But that is your payment to society for the roads that we drive on, for the schools that we go to, for all this stuff. Now, if you want free other stuff like free medical and stuff, we're going to be at the 50% range. Okay. But anyways, so you got to take that money out yourself and pay the taxes. The other thing is savings. So check this out. Guys. So let's put this all together. 35K minus 30% over 10K, you making 25K a year. What now? So Lizard, you must be like 10 years old, bro. Here's the best. Here's what's great about this. Okay, check this out. So if you are employed, you are going to pay that 30%, and then you get your money. So if you are employed and you're making $35,000 a year, like most first-year college graduates do, they're really only making 25K. But when you're a barber, you spend your money and then you pay your taxes, right? So I'm telling you 30% because that's to be safe, okay? But because as a self-employed person or as a business owner, you get to write off your booth rent, your expenses. And again, check with your accountant. Part of your cell phone bill, part of like you get to write off a lot of things that most employees don't because the taxes are already taken out. So although you made 35K and you have a 30% tax bracket, your write-offs, you might only pay 5%. Okay. Now the issue with that is then you have less buying power when you want to go buy real estate. So you want to pay. So like if you have too many expenses, and that means, you know what I'm saying, that you have too much to write off, you have a bunch to write off. Okay, you can buy a house, right? But again, that's a benefit. That is a benefit, right? So no, if you made $35,000 your first year as a barber, and the tax bracket is 30%, let's say you have 10% in write-offs, you really only get taxed 20%. Whereas somebody who was a teacher, for example, or a firefighter, for example, they're making only 25K. Okay. So, and it's not about finessing the system. It's about like these are laws, right? These are laws. And the reason why they're laws is because they want you to do better. The better that you do, like they want you to get to the 112K, because if you're at the 112K, you don't mind paying 30% in taxes because you've reached that level. Like the government wants you to be successful. So they give you these tax benefits so that you can get there, right? They're trying to help you out. Okay. So that's one of the benefits. Now, how do you do this? Like, how do you keep track of all of this? Now, I literally just found out about this. Before, I had all kinds of bank accounts and I was transferring money here, transferring money there. I had apps that would automatically take money out and put it here. My businesses had all kinds of accountants and they were doing their thing. But as a barber, if you're just a barber, right? Um, well, Birdie, on average, I think firefighters make about 40,000 a year, 50,000 a year. If you take 30% out of that, how much are you making? Right. So, anyways, so there's an app called Capital, and I literally just started using it. But I feel like with all this information being said, right, this is like the answer to Barber prayers, yo. Like, this is the app right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. That's the app right there. It's called Capital. There's a link in the description. And I ain't gonna lie to you, with the link that I have, you make $5 off of it. I make $5 off of it if you sign up. But here's what's dope about it. Check this out. So anything that comes in, so like I have a bank account, right? That's set up for, I have one bank account set up other than my business accounts. I have my personal account, right? And everything that's income from my personal life goes right into that bank account. And then from that bank account, I have an account that is for savings. I have an account that is for taxes. I have an account that is for paying off debt, for example, right? So the way I have this app set up is that account that gets all my income is linked with this app. And so I have it so that I have a taxes place, and you guys can't really see. Damn. Okay. So I have it to where I have taxes set up. So anyways, anything that comes in, automatically 30% is removed and put into my tax account. Anything that comes in, automatically 5% is taken and put into my debt account. And anything that comes in, automatically I have 10% that comes out and goes into my savings account. And for my savings account, I have an app called Robinhood that automatically takes money out, and I can use that towards buying stocks and investments, right? So they give you a debit card. It is like kind of like a bank account in it. I mean, so I love the app because it's not just that. Like you can do like a payday rule. So anytime you get a payday, it has a rule. You just got, guys, you got to look up the app. It's called Capital. And I'm telling you right now, it's game changer, bro. It's game changer. So this app right here, like I wish I would have seen this sooner. I feel like this is exactly what barbers needed. The freelancer rule: set aside 30% for tax day every time you get paid. Boom. There you go. So now you don't have to go and log into your bank account and transfer the money yourself. The app is doing it for you, kind of like your employer would do it for you, right? At the end of the year, if you're paying less in taxes, then you got a freaking bonus at the end of the year, right? Yeah, Robinhood is amazing. Then like you might have a guilty pleasure rule, right? So you want to cut back on Starbucks, and you're usually spending about $30 a week on Starbucks. What the app will do is automatically, if anything you spend less than $30, it'll automatically put it aside to a savings account. Bro, this app is amazing, man. Like, so yeah, I have 3 accounts within that app. One is for savings, one is for debt payment, and one is for taxes. I think the app is like $3 a month. So, but totally worth it. There's a link in the description. Check it out. If you guys like it, then yeah, sign up for it. And then they also have it to where right through the app, you can take out a certain percentage every month or a certain amount every month that will go straight into some type of investment, whether it's like an index fund or mutual fund or a stock, whatever. There's a link in my description, concise. It's called Capital with a Q. So, but yeah, I went through my whole spiel. Let's do some Q&A, man. Ask away. Let's ask some questions. We got like 400 people on here. I didn't think there was going to be that many people. Obviously, the topic is interesting to a lot of you guys. And typically, I would only share this type of information like on the online academy. But I felt like when I saw that post on the Facebook group and I saw so many people, like I did a poll and I asked, here's what's dope. Here's what's dope, though. This is what I'll tell you. I did a poll, and in the poll, I asked how many of you guys are making more than $47,000 a year? How many are making less? So 45% of the people who voted, mind you, there was over 1,000 people who voted in my Instagram. and they for over 45% said they make 47,000 or more. Out of those 40, out of the 45%, I asked, how many of you guys have been in the industry 2 years or less? 55% of those people have been in the industry 2 years or less. That tells me if you're hungry, if you're passionate, if you treat this industry well, it will treat you well. And most of the newer generation of barbers believe they can do well in this industry, and that's why they're doing better. So did he say he was getting $5 with link, bro? Chill. Yeah, so like if you sign up through the link, you'll get $5. I'll get $5. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This isn't affiliate link. Why not? But I just recently found it, and I was gonna share it with just my academy members, but I figured I'll share it with y'all. 2 years in my career, cutting fresh out of school with no license. Barber school or apprenticeship. Can I file tax without going to barber school? I can guarantee you there are more people than barbers. He pushing the feeling hard body. What haircut do you get? How do you build clientele? Bro, I hate when barbers charge standard prices, but cuts are booty juice. Doesn't matter what, guys. It doesn't matter what the haircut looks like. Like, I don't understand. Like, again, have 70 barbers, and some of the worst barbers there have the biggest clientele. What whip I got right now, bro? I have a 2003 Nissan Titan. Hey, Chris, you got my license, looking into getting in the shop. Is $600 too much for rent? $600 a week or a month? Traveling barbers, I'm not sure. Nah. No, the government's not going to ask you for your license or certificate when you file taxes. No. They're going to want to know how you made your money, though. So you have someone fresh out of school. Shop gives them a chance with 5 months. Their clientele isn't the best and struggling to make 5 to 6 people to do. What would you tell them as the owner? 5 to 6 people a day or a week? When I get my license, I'm charging 30 off the bat. I like you. I like you. That's what's up. How much do I make a year? I don't know. Any particular insurance companies that is barber friendly? No, get an insurance agent. Don't go with an insurance company, because an agent is going to pull up all the companies, and they're going to provide you. They're going to customize the insurance plans that are best for you as an individual. Get an agent, not a company. So you're about to explain how I have a whole video on apprenticeship. What are the steps to open your own barbershop? Read the email. What health insurance you got? I got health insurance. Capo, I already answered that question. Are you late? You must be late. Where my shop at? All the barbershops in Tampa. No license is able to be used in another state. You have to figure out how you can move your license to that state. Chris, I travel a lot, but honestly, I'm home a lot. Like, I'm barely in the barbershop. I make most of my money through education, and so because of that, and through YouTube, so because of that, I'm not trading time for money no more. So even though I'm working all the time, and it looks like I'm working all the time, I'm with my kids a lot too. What up, Jamie? Drew Cuts. Yo, Chris, if I'm in a state that don't do booth frame, you think I should move if I'm trying to make money? No, you could do commission. So like, do those numbers, right? So let's say here's the thing with commission. Typically, you do more haircuts a day. It's systemized. Typically, you're set up to do more haircuts a year. Now, you're probably gonna make, like, if you were on booth rent doing that many haircuts or having that system, you'd probably make more money. But the type of softwares that commission shops have, the type of shops, like, just So like, for example, let me give an example. If you are in a barbershop that has a receptionist or that uses a software that has crazy analytics, the software alone typically is gonna be like $300 a month and then like a few $1,000s to set it up. Are you gonna do that by yourself? You know what I mean? Like, are you gonna hire a receptionist yourself? Are you gonna have a shampoo girl yourself? Are you gonna buy all those products for yourself? Like, I don't know, man. Yeah, so Tyler says he's gonna try to do 30 this year. That's great, man. So FXN Trading Group is in the house. Yo, so look, FXN Trading Group is the Forex trader that I cut his hair. And it was supposed to be just a tutorial for the online academy and ended up being an amazing conversation. So I shared it on the Facebook group. And this is a guy who he does trading, man. And yeah, that's his YouTube channel, FXN Trading Group. I used to do Forex. I did Forex back in 2012, but I literally I learned the worst way. I learned through the biggest website. I learned through Pipsology or whatever it's called. And after talking to Jamark, like now I know I was literally a guppy in a sea of sharks. Like I was dumb money. I was what he called dumb money. That's what I was. And I had beginner's luck and I did really, really good in the beginning. And then I lost it all. So yeah, I'm gonna be getting into it now. Yeah, with Jamark, definitely. 6 months out of school, 16 head average a day. Boom, Joe Walter. It's possible, guys. It's possible. It's possible. So I won't be in Dallas. No. How much do I make a year on average? I don't know. I don't know. Guess, Tim. Tim, guess. Guess what I make a year. My 100K. I made that behind the chair when I was just a barber. I made 100K a year before my YouTube channel. Before I even started my YouTube channel, I made 100K a year. Like just off of haircuts. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Just off of haircuts, I made 100 grand a year. Minimum. No, it's not Four Loco. It's 300 milligrams of caffeine. This is, yo, Rockstar. If you're watching this, sponsor me, bro. Like, send me a bunch of these right here. 300 milligrams of caffeine. Yeah, you should sell product. Of course. Look, I gave you all these numbers and we haven't even talked product. Let's talk product now. Let's talk product. This is just haircuts. Okay, let's talk product. So I sell the pucks in the barbershop for $20 for $20 a piece, right? So let's say you make $10 off of that sale. Let's say you make $10 off of that sale. Okay. And let's say you sell 5 a week. 5 a week. That's only one a day, right? I literally in the barbershops, there are people who come to the shop, not for a haircut, not to say hi, just for product. Okay, because we're selling product that's not available at the store and they love the product. So let's say you sell 5. Let's say you sell 5 a week. That's $50 a week times 50. That's $2,500 a year. You guys want health insurance, right? Product can pay for your health insurance. All right. Yo, put your businessman hat on, guys. Come on, guys. Come on. Come on, B. I'm gonna be off. You going to the gym? I already been to the gym. I'm gonna be off before you get back from the gym, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, Get Beamed starts at $40 a cut. I average 40 a cut. Get Beam starts at $40 a cut. But that's because he's in Chicago. I'm in Tampa. So look. If you're watching this video, you didn't know if barbering could be a career, that's because there were some things I wanted to say, but I'm not going to say it. Yo, go read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and you'll understand that barbering is a career. Just rewatch this video. If you're just tuning into this live stream, it will be saved on my YouTube channel. Rewatch this whole live stream, and you'll get the nuggets that you need. This is Believer Barber shirts by Tyler Trotter. He has a YouTube channel, Believer Barber. One of my good friends, one of my favorite people in the industry. Go check him out. So, no, we should have shears unless it's sold out. I'm not sure. Here's the thing, guys. Like, I'm 29 years old, and I'm telling you guys this to inspire you guys. I'm 29 years old. I don't know what's in stock on the website. If it's sold out, it's sold out. I don't know. But the reason why that I don't know is because I don't have to know. I don't have to know if we have any more shears on the website, because I have a team, because I have a squad, because I have friends, because I have loved ones that look out for me, and I look out for them. Because again, the whole reason why I work so hard is because I think about my kids. But I don't just think about my kids. I think about my best friends' kids. I think about my barber's kids. You understand what I'm saying? So like, I want to be contagious. I want to be contagious to people. And if I could do it, I know you guys could do it. The difference, the only difference between me and you could follow me on Instagram. You can follow me in my stories, and you can see I'm always working. I'm always educating myself. I read 2 books a month. I have an Audible account. I pay $22 a month for 2 books every month. And I challenge myself to use every credit that comes in. Because even if I learn one new thing a month, that's better than you did. That's better than he did. And if you continue that type of lifestyle for an entire lifetime, imagine what you can become, man. And I think about yo, we got one life, right? Every day, the challenges. That's it, man. Like, I wasn't doing 16 haircuts on a day. I was doing like 20 haircuts a day, easy. And I wasn't working 8 hours. I wasn't working 10 hours. I was working 12, 13 hours a day. And I wasn't working 5 days a week. I was working six days a week. My only days off were like Sundays. And so check this out. This is how crazy I got. I told myself, there was a year. I remember I was like, it was like my 5th year in, and I couldn't get past. I have a vlog about it. I vlogged this. This was my first year on YouTube. This was my first few months on YouTube. I think it was like vlog number 2 or 3. And I said, yo, last week I did 85 haircuts, and I vlogged it, and I would get to like 87. I get to 90. And I want to get 100. That was the goal. I want to get to 100 a week. So I told myself for an entire year, I was never going to turn down a haircut. I will not turn down a haircut this entire year. Now, if it's after hours, I will charge more. If it's before hours, I will charge more. But I'll never say no. If someone says, yo, I need a haircut at like 10 o'clock tonight, can you get me, bro? Please. Yes. But it will be. And they almost always said yes. Like 90% of the time, they said yes. Bro, 112,000, you crazy. I was making way more than that behind the chair. Trust me, behind the chair. Trust me. In like 3 months, I saved up for my first house. I saved up for my portion of the first barbershop in 3 months. So I remember that video. Yeah. All of this is documented. I'm not bullshitting you guys. I've been transparent my entire career. And that's why I'm so persistent in trying to be contagious to you guys. Like, I don't know what else I don't know how else to get you guys to be motivated. But I will tell you this. I was proud when I look at the polls that I put up, and I saw that 55% of the people who made 47,000 or more this year have been in the industry 2 years or less. When I saw 55% were in the industry 2 years or less, I was proud of that. Because I felt like if you're following me and you've been in the industry 2 years or less, you probably grew up with me. Like, not grew up, but like grew up within this industry. You probably grew up with me in your ear. And that made me proud, man. That made me so proud. So, Marvin, you remember, right? Man. 370 people on here. That's crazy. So, yeah, man. Yeah, I wish you guys the best, man. Like, so, yo, but check out that app. Know the app, learn the app, and make that part of your career right now. And I'm telling you, you guys, a few years from now, you guys will be thanking me. Make that part of your life right now. And if you're part of the online academy, my goal is to have everyone on the online academy using that app, right? Using that app. And my goal is 2 years from now, because you need 2 years of taxes. You need 2 years of history to be able to get a real estate loan. My goal is 2 years from now, anyone who's in a part of the online academy should own real estate. I'm telling you right now, yo, my first property, check this out. This was my first property. I bought it when I was 23 years old. This is my first property. I bought it when I was 23 years old. I used an FHA loan, and I put 3.5% down with closing costs. It came out to $10,000 total, right? And I bought this house, and I lived in it for a year, because with an FHA loan, you got to live in the house for at least a year. I lived in it for a year. While I was in it, I was fixing it up, making it nice, and I moved out. I rented a house, and I rented the property, right? I was essentially living rent-free because I was making so much off of this property. Not rent-free, I lied. I was paying like $300 for my apartment while I was renting out this house because of the money I was making from the rental property, right? So I'm making passive income. My apartment's $300 a month now. Loving it. Like, I'm like, yo, hey, this is dope. And anybody can do it, right? And 2 years later, I look at the value of the house, and it went up. Yo, so I made $600 a month for 2 years. For 2 years, because I was renting the house out. So what's 600 times 24 months? That's $14,000, right? 14 G's. And then, so that means I got my closing costs and I got my down payment back, and I profited $4,400. But then I sold the house, and I made $60,000 off of this house in 2 years. One property. So my goal is use capital. Get your taxes withheld. Take 10%. Open up another thing within capital, and say, capital, I want you to take 10% of anything that comes into this account. Okay. And this goes into my investment account. So you have 30% going into your taxes, 10% going into your investment account, and you're living off of 60% of your income. Okay. You should be able to live off of 60% of your income. If you can't do that, you're living above your means. Okay. In 2 years, you should have the down payment for your first property. But in 2 years, you'll also have the taxes the paperwork to be able to buy your first property because you've been paying your taxes, you've been withholding it. Now, if you made 6 figures and you write off half of what you make and you made 50,000 that year, then you're going to pay less in taxes. So that 30% that was taken out, okay, you're going to get a bonus at the end of the year because you might only have to pay 20%. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. But that's a bonus. Now you can put more towards a house. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, yo, this is the road to changing not just your life, but your family tree. Your family tree's life. I'm tired of people complaining. Take responsibility. Like there's no, when you sell something on eBay, when you sell something on Amazon, when you sell something online, when you rent a property and you're using a property manager to rent the house out, no one sees the color of your skin. No one sees how old you are. No one knows whether you're gay or straight. No one knows who you are. There's no discrimination. Like there's nothing that can stop you from changing your family tree forever. Straight up, like, let's get it. Any other questions before I get off of this thing? Nah, never too old. 50% at 16 a cut. If you're just getting started, Megan, that's a great commission. Hell yeah. Now, what's your ceiling? Stop asking whether 50% is robbery or not, right? What is your ceiling? Because I'm gonna tell you this. So Will might go and go into a shop that's booth rent and not know how much he's gonna cut that week because no one's there to support them. And you might come in your first week and do 16 haircuts a day. You're not gonna take that commission? You're not gonna do that? Of course you're gonna do it. But can you work your way up? What is your ceiling? Jeezy's in the building, my dog. That's family. That's family. No matter what, no matter how long, no matter. So like every now and then, me and Jeezy get together and we get to see each other in person. We get to hang out. But no matter how long we don't see each other, he always gets on my live. He always shows love. One of the most humble people I know, man. I was doing at least 100 haircuts, at least minimum a week when I was full time. At least more than that, because I was working like 6 days a week, doing at least 20 haircuts a day. Yo, ask Chris Loco. Talk about, look, when I talk about work ethic, when I talk about people you guys should follow. Look, I brag. Jeezy, today I was bragging about the truck I drive. I drive a 2003 Titan, right? And somebody was dissing me for it. And like Jeezy's over here driving a 2006 Charger, and he brought it up on my live stream yesterday. And I was like, yo, killing it, right? Because I know what that means. Because I know what that means. The work ethic matches his ambitions. It doesn't match his materialistic things. It matches his ambitions. FXN Trading Group, what up? Appreciate you, bro. Jeezy cuts fast. I wouldn't be surprised if he does 30 heads a day, bro. That man cuts fast. I've seen him cut live. He cuts fast. Nah, I don't like Financial Peace University. Queendom Cuts, I love you. I'm a fan. I see you on Instagram, but I'm not a Financial Peace University fan at all. I hate the way that Dave Ramsey gives limited thoughts, limited beliefs. He tells people you probably won't be a millionaire. You probably won't have a business that's super successful. If you are, more power to you, but you probably won't do it. So you should put your money into a mutual fund, into an index fund, max out your 401k. And by the time you're 65 years old, you'll be able to retire. Nah, what kind of shit is that, yo? I don't want to. No. No, no. That plan is not for me. That plan is for no one. Like, that is old school mentality. No, live your life, son. Live your life. My mom was a hairdresser, was easily making 700 a day. Mm. Mm. Boy, I'm trying to tell you. I'm repping Believer Barber, Tyler Trotter, my dog, my family. Jeezy, 18 a day. He's doing 18 a day, and he's recording a tutorial almost every day. On top of that, come on, man. What's your excuse? Come on. My man's side hustle is cutting hair. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing 18 a day. And Jeezy's here's what people be forgetting. My man's been a barber for like less than 3 years. Like, a licensed barber. Jeezy, how long you been a licensed barber? Because, like, I swear a year ago it was like 2 years. I remember watching you on YouTube when you were in barber school. I use Final Cut Pro. Yeah, Tyler Trotter's my dog, man. One of the great minds in our industry, man. This is a guy who robbed a pharmacy at gunpoint because he was addicted to pills and is super successful in this industry. When would you say to invest money in other things? Would you say at least 10K saved? Concise. You're part of the academy. Go watch Money Mindset and watch the entire series. Watch the entire series. You should not be investing any money in anything besides yourself until you have reached so look, my man said side hustle is cutting hair. 3 years. Yeah, 3 years licensed. 3 years licensed, bro. And the reason why I say cutting hair is your side hustle, because you had a YouTube channel while you were in barber school. Right? The YouTube channel started popping while you were in barber school. You were a waiver. That was your main hustle. And you was like, yo, I'm going to get my barber's license and I'm going to implement this into my YouTube channel. But YouTube was the hustle, right? And I love that. I love that. That goes to show to people, like, there's no excuse, man. There's no freaking excuse. So anyways, my man, he said, hold on. So concise. What I'm saying is, so like right here, so like today's live stream, I talked about how when you're starting off, there's no reason why you can't make 35,000 a year your first year, right? And then you get to a level where you build clientele. Your second year, third year, you should be making some real money, right? So let's say you're making 100, you're making 6 figures. Your pipeline, your first hustle needs to be making some real money. It needs to be making some real money. Once you've made that real money, once your first hustle is maxed out, when you feel like you're good, right? That's when you should start investing. You got no reason to invest when you're making 35,000 a year. I don't care about compound interest. I don't care about none of that. There's no reason for you to invest at that point. Invest in yourself. Invest in your tools. Invest in marketing. Invest in your skill set. Get to 100. Get to 6 figures behind the chair, and then start putting money into other things. I told you guys, I literally came up with the deposit for my house and for my portion for the barbershop in like 3 months. So, yo, it was a lit live stream, man. Yeah, 30 minutes is a great timing, bro. Great timing. 30 minutes is the that's all I look to do. 30 minutes. I don't try to kill myself and do crazy fast haircuts. I listen to the series, just want others to hear what you had to say. I like that, bro. Concise is paying for that for the online academy, and he wants to share that information. So my goal is to give the academy for free. And we're working on it. We're building Tomb 45 to a point where we can give it out for free. But I'll be honest with you, Tomb 45 kind of pays for my life. You know what I mean? It pays my bills. I live off of the Tomb 45 Academy. Not Tomb 45, the Academy. I've never taken a dollar from Tomb 45, never taken a dollar from headlines, never taken a dollar from any of my businesses besides the Academy. I live off of that. So that's the only reason why I haven't given it out for free. But as Tomb 45 continues to grow, my goal, like I lose sleep at night because I want to give it for free. I want a place where serious barbers, and we're gonna max it out to a certain limit because I don't want to kill it with too many people. But that's the goal. So concise, you're the right person. I'm glad you're part of the group, and I'm glad you want to share that information because I do too. Scott, appreciate you, bro. So, I love the cut interview. Are you going to do more videos with that concept, Devon? I am because it's doing well, over 6,000 views, and I've convinced that guy who's a forex trader to start a YouTube channel and give all his information for free. I convinced him because I told him about my journey and I told him about the academy that I have and how it pays my bills, right? Like I'm telling you guys, completely transparent. But I told him how he was like, I don't know how to balance like what I can give for free and what I shouldn't give for free. I'm like, bro, give it all for free. Give it for free. Give it all for free. Change lives. There are going to be some people that want your mentorship, that want to get hands on, that want you to be there on a weekly, daily basis and want to see what you're doing behind the scenes. Okay, well, that's going to take time from everything. So you should charge for that. And that's what you charge for. But the nuggets, the bars, give it for free. And he's going to do it. And I shared his link. He was in this live stream. If you're still here, FXN Trading Group, if you're still here, comment so that people can click on your YouTube channel. He's giving the information. Like, and I'm going to sign up for his mentorship group because I want to learn. So, yo, and this is the stuff I was doing. This is the mindset I had, and I was getting dogged for it. And there ain't a single person in the barber industry who has taught more classes, who has done more private classes, who has been to, and I give it, and I'm doing it the most. My dog, he's a real one. Shout out to FXN Trading Group for still being in this damn live stream. Yo, make sure y'all click on him. Let me see if I could pin him. I can't pin it like I can on Instagram. But make sure y'all boys, yo, show that man love. Check out his YouTube channel. All that. Damn. I can't pin him. So this was a fun live stream, man. Any more questions before I get off this thing? Subscribe. There you go. Subscribe, y'all. Yo, you know Red Bull is like 110 grams milligrams of caffeine. This is 300. Holy. Dayton, Ohio Barbers. Subscribe. There you go. Keep subscribing, y'all. Yeah, if you got a GI Bill, it's a wrap. Like, yo, if I had a GI Bill, forget about it. Yeah, I ain't gonna sleep. Nah, man, like, I'm good. I'm pretty healthy. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I'm pretty healthy. I'm gonna be all right. What are some unique ways to grow clientele? There's a book. If you want unique ways to grow clientele, there's a book. And I shared it yesterday on Instagram. He's got some pretty unique ways. Let me see. Right here. This book right here. Oh shit. That book right there. Get that book. I'm almost done with it. It's a good book. Go ahead and get that book. Read The Purple Cow. So Seth Godin wrote the Purple Cow. This is his newest book on marketing. So it's up to date. It's gonna be better than Purple Cow because it's up to date. So hello, Lynn. Free cuts. Yeah, free cuts is a great idea. Nah, this is his newest book. Skip all that. Skip all that and just check out This Is Marketing. Skip all that and just check this out. He talk like it's brand new. He talks about Instagram. He talks about Facebook ads. He talks about all that. And honestly, I feel like I could have wrote that book. Not being cocky, but I feel like I could have wrote that book. A lot of things that I read is like confirmation, and that's okay. It's okay to read books and not get any new information. Just getting confirmation is worth it. It's worth your time. It's worth your money because it keeps you going. You know what I mean? Like it keeps you on that path. I think a lot of people, they're not successful because they leave the path that they're on too soon, and they don't see the fruit of their labor. So by reading these type of books and constantly getting confirmation, you stay on your path much longer. So those books are really, really important, guys. They don't make my top 10, but they're important. I don't know. I read 2 books a month at least. I try to keep up with my. So sometimes I fall behind, but I try to keep up with my subscription, which is two books a month. Oh, and I listen to podcasts. Don't sleep. Here's the thing: like I don't just listen to 2 books a month. Look at my YouTube download list. Look at this. My YouTube download list. You can't see it? Damn. Hold on. Let me see if I lowered. Oh, it's mad bright. Yeah, it was mad bright. So look, 543, guys. 543. That's my downloads list. I be going in on content. Let me show you guys podcasts. Look what I was listening to. Just useless information at the end of the day. Look at my podcast list. I got Gary Vee in there. I got Memberships Podcast. I got your boy Marvy Marv, The Hair Game, Gary Vee, Forex. Like, this is what is this? This is Hairbrained. Yo, I got beauty industry, barber industry podcast on here. I got you guys know that's damn, what's his last name? You guys know who he is. Jocko, amazing. Like, yo, y'all think most people would say I'm crazy. Yeah, I listen to Joe Rogan too. I love how Joe Rogan knows so much useless information. He knows about Indians on an island. You know what I mean? Like he knows crazy stuff. Grant Cardone, I know Grant Cardone. I know all that stuff, man. I'm a sponge. I had my own barber podcast. I had the barber session. Like a lot of people who follow me today is because of the barber session. I think we were one of the first. We were one of the first to have a barber podcast. I feel like. How many of y'all were on with the barber session? How many of you guys remember the barber session? Like raise your hand and say I. If I do listen while I'm cutting hair, I got one headphone in, one out. So I can make sure I'm paying attention to my client, what's going on in the shop as well. Bro, I listen to every episode 5 times at least. Yo, look at hey, that's lit. That's so lit. That is so lit. One day I hope to one day I hope to grow so much, man, that I can help any industry, right? So like you have motivational speakers and you have people who are really good at business. And so I'll give you an example, right? So like John Pierre, whatever the hell his name is, from Paul Mitchell. He's the reason why he's a household name is because he's an inspiration to every industry because he's in the Forbes list. If you're in the Forbes list, you're automatically speaking at any business expo, any business engagement, and you inspire much more than just your niche. And because of that, like I want to be there and I want to represent barbers in that. You know what I'm saying? Like this man represents he used to represent Paul Mitchell, but now he represents Paul Patron even more. That's what I've noticed. But like, who the hell represents barbers? There ain't a single damn person that shows up to these engagements. You got Uber there, you got Paul Mitchell there, you got you know what I'm saying? Like, who's there with the barber industry, man? I'm trying to get there. Why not? We got one life. So somebody yesterday they took down the top 10 of my books. Braulio did. I don't know where he's gonna post it. If he posts it, I'll share it. So Jeezy is still in here. That's my dog. That's my dog. In fact, he's still in here. That man live a busy life. He's still here. Ivan Zoot's amazing. You're buying exiting barbershop or get new. What's your advice? So I have bought a barbershop in the past. The problem with buying a barbershop is you have barbers there. And those barbers, they're not the people you hired. They might have some bad habits. You know what I'm saying? And you got to break those habits, or you gotta convince them to buy into your culture. That's rough. So I'm not the biggest fan of buying a barbershop. Unless you already work there and you feel like the culture is good, then yeah. But I didn't work there. I just bought a barbershop and it didn't turn out the best. It was rough. It's good now after like 2 years, but it was rough. Do I know MMA life, Barber Life on YouTube? Of course. Of course. Good guy. Hustler. So thing, I love you guys. I appreciate y'all being on this live stream. Thank you guys so much. I've been on this thing for an hour and 20 minutes already. Much longer than I thought I would be. But y'all take care. Jeezy, love you, bro. Glad to see you on here. Y'all take care, man.